Welcome back. I want you to take a good look at the journal page we just did and also go back and find your page 115 that we did earlier. What we're going to do now is we are going to cut out and glue in a couple different things, okay? We are going to cut out number 3 of what we did here, and I want you to be very careful and only cut out around the red 3, down around your model and words, and up around the edge. So don't worry about 1 and 2, but do not throw the rest of it away. So again, all we're cutting out is number 3. And we're going to turn in our journal to the back page that we wrote on right when we first started this lesson. So again, you're going to cut off anything we don't need, but do not throw away your scraps. Okay, we're going to be using the back side of this one. So I have this little one that I've just cut out, and I'm going to go back here. Here's what we did just a little bit ago. So go backwards in your journal, and you should have this weird page that we did. And you're going to put this division situation thing really high up there, right under what we wrote before. In fact, I might take my pencil and make this look a little bit better, a little bit nicer. Like that. Okay, get that glued in right there, and then you will need to hang on to your page 115 because we're about to use it again. So I am going to tape mine. You should be using your glue stick and getting it in there really quickly so that we can move on. If you aren't done in the time that I am, then you need to pause the video. All right, now that's in our journal. So right here where I have this scrap that's like hanging off, I'm not going to use that bottom piece. That was just like flapping around right here. I'm not going to use that, so I'm going to throw that one away. But I am going to turn the paper over now to what would be page 112, I think. I don't know, I just threw that away. Not 112, I think it's page 116 or something. Anyway, this is the page we're on now. So now we've got some division word problems. What I want us to cut out are numbers 4, 5, and 7. So we're not going to solve them yet. We're just going to cut out 4, 5, and 7. Okay? 4, 5, 7. So you don't need the blue line. You just need the words 4, 5, and 7. And you don't even need the directions on this one. We're just going to cut these story problems out so that we don't have to handwrite them in. So there's number 4, 5, and 7. 4, 5, and 7. Brady, you're in this story problem. That's exciting. 4, 5, and 7. So I have 4, 5, and this baby 7 one right here. You're just going to evenly space them out. So this is number 4. Number 5 will be there. Number 7 will be there. So 4, 5, and number 7. Okay? Go ahead and get those glued in as quickly as you can. And we are going to start reading these story problems and start solving them as quickly as we can. Thinking about what we know about dividing with fractions, using an equation, using a model, all of that. Okay, here we go. The first one. 1 lap around the track is a 4th mile. Jose wants to run 5 miles. How many times must he run around the track? So, I know my two numbers are 1/4 and 5. I just don't know which one comes first. I know it's going to be division, so I start thinking about it. He wants to go 5 miles. So is he going to end up running a fraction of the times around the track? Or is he going to have to run a lot of the times around the track? Let's say he wanted to go a 4th mile. Then he'd only have to run around the track once because the track is only a 4th mile, right? But he wants to go 5 miles. So he's going to have to run around this track a lot of times. Not a fraction of a time, a lot of times. So if we know it's going to end up with a whole number, then we should begin with the whole. It's what he wants. He wants to run 5 miles. So we are going to begin with 5 miles. It is what he wants. Remember we were taught the what they have or what they want. Yeah, he wants 5 miles. So the equation is 5 divided by how long is each of every time he goes around the track, he's going 1/4 of a mile. Everyone good with that? Okay, equals x. That's the equation. How do I draw that as a model? Oh, it's easy. I just go, well, if I draw a track, normally tracks are like elliptical, right? He wants to go 5 whole miles. You really can just model with rectangles or squares every single time, even if it doesn't make sense. Like, even if you're like, yeah, but a track's not square, it's okay. You're just showing your thinking. So the model here is he has 5, or he wants 5, and he has to go, if he wants 5 miles, he has to split them up into fourths to figure out how many times he has to go around the track. So we are going to show with orange the he has 5 whole, and he's going to split that into fourths. Think about it. If he even wants to go 1 mile, he has to run 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4. So he has to run 4 laps on every single one of these. So he has to go 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. So the model is showing 20. He's got to run 20 times around. But remember, it can be really fast too. To divide by a fraction, here's a tip. Keep, change, flip. Keep the 5, change to multiply, flip 1/4, which is 4, and you get 20. So how many times must he run around the track? 20 times. That's going to be my final answer. I'm going to circle it, put X in brown, and circle it. Let's try the next one. There is 1/6 of an extra large pizza left over. Oh, it's what we have. We have 1/6 of a pizza. If 3 friends share the pizza equally, what fraction of a whole pizza will each friend get? Okay. Well, we already know what we have. We have 1/6 of a pizza. The equation. You begin with what you have. And I'm splitting that pizza with how many people? 3 friends. To divide by a fraction, here's a tip. Keep, change, flip. How do you flip 3? It's 1/3. You do the unit fraction. So the answer is 1/18 of the pizza. Let's see if that is reasonable. If I only have 1/6 of a pizza, does it make sense that each of my friends are going to get a pretty small piece? Yeah, let's model it. Even though pizza's typically round, what's easiest to model? Rectangles or squares. So we're going to do rectangles. I'm going to draw a rectangular pizza. I actually have had rectangular pizza. Maybe you have too. I'm proving that I only have 1/6, so I have to draw the whole and then prove that I've got 1/6. So here's my proof. I'm coloring it in. I'm showing, here's my 1/6, and 3 friends are going to share that. So you can do your lines going left and right if you want. Or you can do the tall skinny. Remember Ms. Fisher told you to do tall skinny. It usually helps more. But it might be fun to try the other way around, where we're doing the 3s going this way. And it works just the same, because this could be to friend 1. This one can go to friend 2. This one can go to friend 3. So they're each going to get 1 piece. But what's the whole denominator now? There's 3 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. They're only going to get 1/18th, which is what we said over here. So the model works pretty great. It was kind of easier to split it like that, don't you think? Because we ended up splitting all of them at the same time. Kind of nice. Okay. I better really show that this is a 6th, though. So there's 1/6, 2/6, 3/6, 4. In fact, maybe I better label that. 1/6, 2/6, 3/6, 4. You better be doing this too. There, that kind of shows. All right, the last one. Brady has 3 goldfish. This is 1/5 times as many as Sam has. How many goldfish does Sam have? So you have Brady and Sam. Brady, we know, has 3. But then we have this. That is a fraction of how much Sam has. So how many goldfish does Sam have? How many does he have? He has 3. So we're going to begin with 3. So the equation, we've been practicing equations a lot. You should be getting this. The equation is Brady has 3, and it is 1/5 times as many. It's 1/5 times as many. So you're dividing by 1/5 because that's how many. Sam is going to have a lot. So equals whatever Sam has. Sam is the X. Okay? So just think about this for a minute. If I model this, what am I going to draw the real model? Am I going to really draw fish? No, I'm literally just going to draw rectangles to represent the fish. They look like more like squares, but that's okay. There they are. There are my 3 fish. This is 1/5 times as many as Sam has. So I break each of these up into fifths. So how many fish does Sam have? If 3 is only a piece of what Sam has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and another 5, and then another 5. So Sam has, to divide by a fraction, here's a tip. Keep, change, flip. Sam has 15 goldfish. I better put Sam. Hopefully that makes sense. So we got to do the Brady has 3. And it was a fraction of what Sam had. So you divide that by the fraction and you get 15. It's not 15 wholes, right? It's 15 little pieces right here. So he has 15 of the goldfish. So those are some division situations. What I want to do now, I know this is so much fun. Get excited. We've done this page. If you flip it over, we've done this situation all the way at the bottom. Remember, we wrote lots of tiny little things. And now, oh, you know what we didn't do? Is circle our numbers in orange over here. Now we are going to move on to just practicing and not having to do all the modeling, okay? So let's turn the page one last time for this lesson, and we're going to just practice. That's what we're going to do here. It's going to be great. I promise it won't be too hard. So let's just go ahead and with our orange, let's just split up. Let's go to the top of our paper and use the margins. I know, I just made that over there. Weird, but it's fine. And then I want you to split them in half all the way down your paper. And let's practice 10 things. So we need 5 on here. Well, Actually, we're probably going to only end up doing 8 because that's what I ended up doing. Oh no, I did 10. Go me. Try to get 10 on there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Will you just number those really quickly? 1, 2, 3, 4. You get it. All the way to number 10. Oh, these extra scraps that you have laying around, you can throw those away now. Or wait till the end, that's fine. We're just going to start practicing like crazy, okay? So if I have a whole divided by a whole, and it looks like this. 5 divided by 6. This is so easy. What does X stand for? Well, whole divided by whole means whole over whole. And 5, 6 cannot be simplified. So this is just whole over whole. Really easy to do that. Let's circle our answers in brown. Really easy to do that. Number 2, what if I have another one that is a whole over whole? Like that. It's the same thing. If they're both whole numbers, you just write it out like that. Whole over whole. Make sure you put the first one first, or as the numerator. And then you have to fix ones like this. This one has more than enough. It's like having 33 candy bars, and I'm only sharing them with 30 people. They're all going to get a whole plus some more. So 30 goes into 33 one time. That's why they get a whole. And then you'd be taking away 30 of the candy bars, so you'd be left with 3/30ths, which is technically the answer here, but it also can be simplified. And you can divide each one of those by 3 to get 1/10. And when you combine those and make that Medal of Honor, it's 1 and 1/10. You could also make sure you remember it began with 1 and 3/30ths. It just needed to be simplified. That's all. So wholes over wholes are really not so bad. They're really not. Let's try one where we do a whole divided by a fraction, like this. 9 divided by 1/5. You don't have to model it. You're just going to do the quick operation. To divide by a fraction, here's a tip. Keep, change, flip. Keep, change. How do you flip 1/5? 5. So this makes sense. If I have 9 holes and I cut each of the holes into fifths, how many fifths do I have? 45. So we'll say 45 1/5 size pieces. Okay, number 4. Should we do another one that's like that, where we begin with a whole? I think that's a good one to do. Let's do this. 50 divided by 1/4. It's not so bad. To divide by a fraction, here's a tip. Keep, change, flip. If I had 50 candy bars and cut them into fourths, how many fourths would I have? 200. Number 5. So we've done whole by whole, whole divided by fraction. Now we need to do fraction divided by whole. So that might look something like this. I have 1/5 of a cake left over, and 8 people want to share it. They're not going to get very much if I only start with 1/5. So it's easy to remember that they're not going to get very much. To divide by a fraction, here's a tip. You still keep the first number. Keep, change, flip. How do you flip 8? It becomes 1/8. Look at that. They would all only get 1/40th of a cake. Pretty crazy, but that's how it works. Let's do another one where it is a fraction by a whole. Let's do 1/3 divided by 5. To divide by a fraction, here's a tip. Keep, change, flip. Oh, I almost just flipped 5 into 5. That doesn't work. Think about this for a minute. If I have 1/3 a cup of pepper and 5 people say they will put that on their tongues, how much pepper, it's 1/3 a cup, how much pepper would each friend have to evenly put on their tongues? 1/15 of a cup. I know, weird story problem, but you'll see all sorts of stuff coming up. So just make sure it's what you have, divided by who's doing that, or who's sharing it, or who wants it or needs it. Okay, number 7. Now I'm just going to throw a bunch at you and see if you can do this. I want you to solve this one later. Okay, we're going to write all these problems. I'm going to freeze it and come back and see how you did. So 1 divided by 100. Then we're going to do 4 divided by 1/9. We're going to do on this one 16 divided by 20. And there you go. I want you to try to solve each one of these. I'm going to freeze the document camera and we're going to come back and see if you get them all right. Ready? Spend some time right now. You're going to hear me writing. 3 of those are whole divided by wholes. So they're pretty easy. Ooh, you're going to have to simplify on some of them. I have no idea how many times 6 goes into 100. Oh. I'm going to actually have to do the division off to the side. I hope on number 10 you're doing a lot of work to get the answer. You're going to have to actually set up 100 divided by 6. Oh my word, this is annoying. It's really long. Oh, I'm really curious to see who can get all the way there. You also have to simplify it. Wow, that was a crazy problem. I wish you luck on number 10. If you're on number 10 yet, make sure you do whole over whole, which is 100 over 6. And then, since I didn't know that, how many times 6 goes into 100, I had to set it up as a division problem. 100 divided by 6. Then I worked through the process and I got 16 with 4 left over. So you make that 4 into a fraction. So it's 16 and 4, 6. But then you had to simplify even more. It was crazy. Look how crazy it is. See, I got 16 and 4, 6. And then you have to simplify the 4, 6 into 2/3. Then you had to make a Medal of Honor. So that was crazy to do that one. Let's reveal number 9. Did you get 4/5? This is just a whole divided by a whole. 16 over 20. Then you have to simplify it. If you left it as 16 over 20, hurry and add your pencil and do that part. Also be circling your final answers with brown as we review them. Let's look at number 8. To divide by a fraction, here's a tip. Keep, change, flip. So 36 is the right answer. And over here, it's just a whole over a whole. 1 over 100. Pretty awesome. Go through all of these 1 through 10 that we did together and make sure your answers are circled in brown. Ooh, that last one, number 10, sure was a difficult one. So at the very top, you're just going to write in cursive with your brown crayon. You're going to write practice. This was some practice. It was so fun, wasn't it? Did you love it? I bet you did. Okay. Here is what the plan is now. We are done with the math journal, but I want you to look at the homework and remembering. So if you don't Yikes, I just dropped my scissors. Almost on my toe. If you don't have homework and remembering yet, I want you to grab it. You are going to use your journal for all the help that you need, okay? You know that's the #1 resource that you have available. Watch the videos again if you need to, but this one you should be able to do because we've done one like this in our journal. So take a look at it if you need help. On 2 through 6, you're going to have to write the equation, then solve. Luckily, you don't have to do any modeling. If modeling helps you understand it, though, please do all the modeling that you want. Also, like on a test, that'd be a great way to get extra credit. I want to look at one of these problems with you, but I just want to double check that on the remembering side, you know what's going on. You're going to have to make the denominators all be the same on this first section. We're going to predict products. This would be, if you need help, you would look back to 3.9, I believe. Predict and multiply. Yeah, look for help on our journal in 3.9 if you need help on these ones. And then don't worry about stretch thinking. Look how easy these are all going to be, 13 through 18. To divide by a fraction, here's a tip. Keep, change, flip. You do have to show that work real quick. 6 times 4. Whole divided by whole, so easy. Whole divided by whole. Ooh, you'd have to fix that one though. 3 goes into 10 3 times with 1 left over. To divide by a fraction, here's a tip. Keep, change, flip. These are going to go so fast. Have a great time with that page, okay? But go ahead and look at the homework side. Please stop what you're doing and go to the homework side. What I want to do is... let's see, number 4 probably. Harry worked 7 hours last week. This is 1/3 as many hours as Aiden worked. This is kind of like that Goldfish problem where it's weird to set it up like this, but what does he have? What did Harry have? Harry has 7. So the equation will be 7 divided by, it's only a fraction of what Aiden worked. So Aiden is going to be a lot more than 7. So that's the equation. And now you need to solve that. To divide by a fraction, here's a tip. Keep, change, flip. So how many hours did Aiden work? Aiden worked 21 hours. So pretty simple. Good luck to you on the rest of this. Please show your work when you need it and draw models if you need help. And otherwise, we'll catch you next time.